This is The Wealth Puzzle with Michael Mansfield from the Lynn Group. When a part of your financial strategy is out of tune, your long-term goals, your retirement savings, and your legacy can all suffer. With many years of experience in the financial industry, Michael provides his clients and prospects with the information they need regarding Social Security, retirement income planning, wealth management, and much more. Listen in as we address your financial concerns and provide helpful solutions to put you on the path to achieving your retirement goals. And now, here is The Wealth Puzzle with Michael Mansfield.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our podcast, The Wealth Puzzle. I'm Tana Pennington, here with Mike Mansfield.
Woohoo!
Hope everybody had a great weekend. We've got some economic data hot off the press. We want to take a look at it, give you some good news as well as some bad. But yeah, all in all, we'll keep it positive.
Too. We haven't done this in a couple weeks.
I know.
I'm gonna blame Tana.
No,
she had COVID 6 times in a row.
I did not.
No, so we got a little busy in tax season, man. I became Connor's honorary tax assistant. I was busy doing
We're a great team, right?
Tax-related things. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. So I was doing too much teamwork stuff. So I flaked Tana every Monday. I'd be like, hey, it's time to do the podcast. I said, I'm doing taxes. Anyways.
That is actually a true story.
That is true. I'm like, I don't have time.
No embellishment whatsoever.
I told her to do it by herself. She wouldn't. So it just shows you how much she cares about our listeners. But hey, we appreciate all the listeners. Appreciate everyone tuning in to watch the show. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Rumble. Obviously, you can download it on your podcast stuff. You should subscribe. You should share with your friends. Tell them the wealth of information that we give you guys. So, woohoo. So how's life in Texas, Tana?
Good. We had a lot of rain last
turn
night.
On your lights, and you're like, "There's no sun here."
I know there's no sunshine right now. Not yet. It's going to be coming out later on this afternoon.
You live in California, where it's always sunny.
Right. I heard you guys were like in the 90s this weekend.
Always. It was hot.
Yeah.
Well,
crazy.
We're wimps. It was like it was like 78. You're like, "Ooh, it's sweltering out here. What are we gonna do?"
Yeah. No AC.
Because then you get the breeze too, you know, 'cause you get the hot Santa Anas. So, anyways, it's rough. Not a lot to complain about.
Yeah, no, but life is good.
It was funny though. I was just talking to my brother in Utah though, like I don't know, a week or two ago, and they were getting dumped on with snow.
Yeah, so you're right.
You don't really think about spring snow, but
sure,
it does exist. Okay, down to business. Down to business. All right, so I gotta load all these shows.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Tana sends me stuff, so I just put it on the screen. This is a picture of a blue thing. Thank you, Tana, for sending the blue thing to us. What is this? This is this is economics.
Yes.
Boring. Everyone can go to sleep and stop paying attention now.
No, just jobless claims. This is important.
So good news is Tana has not quit and filed for unemployment yet. So the job is still staying low. You know, it's amazing. So for the people that watch this on YouTube and Rumble, you can see the little charts and slides and things that we the one we have up here is initial jobless claims. So that's people running out every week and going on to unemployment. Interesting. If you look at it, you notice there's a big spike up, right? Looks like a mountain. And then it comes grinding back.
Yes.
Well, obviously, COVID came. Everybody went on unemployment. It was impressive, we'll say. Impressive how many people. But what's equally as impressive is we're at a point where we're getting like 180-ish thousand people a week falling for unemployment.
Wow.
It's a 52-year low.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I mean, it's crazy. Like everything we see on the news makes us think that everything is falling apart.
Right.
Right. All the news. I don't care what channel you watch.
Yeah,
You're not be watching that one channel though. Whew. Bad. Anyways, but everything's falling apart, right? And the reality is behind the scenes, the economic stuff is like kind of swirling together. You look at unemployment claims. You know, if unemployment claims are increasing, that's a problem. If more and more people are going on unemployment, that's a problem. We did a show probably a month ago about a little bit about stagflation. you know, and how do you get like increasing inflation, declining growth in society? And one of the catalysts of really identifying recessions and stagflation, these things, is that increase in unemployment,
right?
And the unemployment rate going up. And so it's kind of ironic that, well, how is it we're setting records at the moment? You know, 52-year low with people hanging out on unemployment. It kind of challenges those fears we're getting, because Tana's scared. Tana's scared of the recession, right?
Well, there's just something in the back of the mind that I mean, we're all human. We're going to fear, you know, a decline or a loss or a recession or things like that. That's just part of us.
Hey, look, here's breaking news. The New York judge holds Donald Trump in contempt for failing to comply with, wait for it, subpoena of business documents. All right, well, I'm going to turn that off. We got our breaking news. That was like a real news channel. Like, hang on, everyone, got breaking news.
Well done in your execution.
Yeah, you guys can tell that we've been preparing for this show for weeks, since our articles are now 2 weeks old. Because Tana sends me stuff, says, hey, this is good for the show. Boom,
I know.
Data point. Boom.
And then we never do it.
And I put it in I have an email bin of radio things to use. And here we go. So this is from a couple weeks ago. But once again, we're going back to that theme. Unemployment, economic data. Let's talk about it. March jobs. A lot of jobs were created. A lot of opportunity for you out there, Tana.
I know.
I'm just putting it out there. Putting it out there. You know, it's amazing. On a side note, I was reading about a gal who's trying to get into Congress, and she says that the $15 minimum wage is antiquated and it should be $30. And so
I don't agree with that.
I do, because then me and Tana will make more money for once.
No, there's a reason for entry level jobs.
No, there's not. It's $30 an hour. That's entry level.
No, it's so that we all rise up eventually. You know, we just have to start at the bottom and we work our way up. That's the beauty of the American dream.
Rising up anymore, but maybe. But hey, you know, the jobs created in March didn't quite hit consensus. They were looking for 490,000. Whatever. That's all semantics. Every month they revise the numbers, so more jobs were popped up from February and January. But what's cool in this little article that Tana sent over, besides the pretty picture of Mike Santoli, is that who that is? I can't remember which one he is. No, Santoli's the one that's the jerk. I can't remember this guy's name off the top of my head. But look at that. First quarter ended, almost 1.7 million jobs were added to the payrolls.
Fantastic.
That's a lot of payroll tax. That's a lot of people working and feeling better.
Yes.
I thought being productive. Was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Remember, all the headlines, recession, stagflation, it's all over. We're all screwed. But behind the scenes, things are starting to grind back together. Positive. The other thing, we're going to go through a laundry list. We have all these tabs open. If you can see this on the computer, where I'm like, we just have all this stuff. Now you'd think that we're sponsored by CNBC. It just happens to be that CNBC, like, everybody has all the data everywhere. CNBC just seems to have the cleanest layout for a computer with an article, because they got a big headline, and then they got 3 or 4 bullet points on every article. You click big headline, few bullet points. Super easy to show to everybody. So we're not just CNBC people.
No.
Yeah, it's on the TV right here, though. So I'm sitting here talking to you guys. So I'm calling CNBC. I'm telling them they need to sponsor us. So whatever that means. I've never been sponsored for anything except for AA. No.
No, you have not.
What?
Oh dear.
That's a good thing, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So the other thing, economic data. What is relevant? We are right smack dab in the beginning innings of earnings season. Data is important. Remember, Tana and I have talked about this 1,000 times. 2 things drive the market: emotions, you know, what people are thinking, how they're feeling, and then the facts, the data, the information. And in the moment, the emotions always drive the market. But in the long haul, they always renege back to the facts. And so I'm looking at the data. I'm trying to cut out all of the emotions. And that's hard right now, right? When the market's down and things are tumultuous and all the news is chaotic and Mike stops dressing up for the podcast makes you nervous. All of these things. Well, you're laughing like you don't think it, right?
I didn't even notice.
What? Oh, that's how bad it's gotten around here? You know, he just gets out of bed. He doesn't even comb his hair anymore.
No. What hair?
I don't even comb it. I could give it like a, like those like saddle brushes or whatever. I should probably like do that on my head, I think, right? Some wax. So anyways, earnings so far, we've got 20% of the S&P that's out. I know this article is maybe a little small. It's a lot of green bars. 80% of them have beat their estimates so far. How can this be true? I thought everything was bad, because what are earnings? But if it's not, for the most part, people spending money, this can't be true. Everything's bad. Inflation and Russia and all the things, right? So far, the average earnings, and even though we're in the beginning innings of this, are over 8%. Remember, our goal for this year is we wanted to see about 10% earnings growth for the year.
Right.
So we're already on track. I feel really good about this number.
Yeah.
You know, these are the tea leaves that we need. Yeah. Fun fact, Tana, you don't know this. Well, maybe you do, but we never talked about it. Did you know if you track the history of the stock market and you track politics, the second year of a president, that's the year we're in, right? The second quarter, oh my gosh, we just started that 3 weeks ago. It's historically the worst quarter ever. With volatility, drama. It has a lot to do with it being a midterm year. It has to do with the big meetings for the feds that happen in
that makes
May
sense.
and June. And so we're kind of in this like historical tumultuous time anyways. And so it's like there's all these compounding things freaking us all out. But patience, my friend. Padawan. Is that, what did they say like with the Jedis? I don't know. I had a thought that
I don't know either.
It's gone now. Patience Padawan. Is that a thing? I don't know. I need you to look that up after this and then report back to everybody next week.
I will do.
So good news, earnings are working so far. Companies are beating estimates. Average year-over-year earnings look good. There's an irony, right? They talk about like declining growth. Well, anything's going to be declining growth compared to last year, where you had the best growth ever reported because the government turned off the economy the year prior. So you got to like read through the lines. Hey, good news. Our brothers to the east or west, which way is China? I mean, technically you could go either way,
well,
right?
Yeah, you're right, because we're in a round earth.
So they're the people to the east and the west.
Yes.
You know, this is just like this is just like BS information. I feel like China is known to very favorably manipulate data. You know, I mean, even since COVID started, they've only had one death. Yeah, incredible statistics over there. So anyways, China reported first quarter GDP. It beat expectations. It grew 4.8% year over year. They're expecting 4.4. This was considered a great sign. They've got some unemployment ticking up. It is fascinating data that this is good news, because China, of all funny places on planet Earth, you go back not that long ago, 5 or 10 years ago, their GDP was 15%. And people, when it broke 10%, were horrified. And when it broke 9%, they thought there's no way. And I can remember it being 6% and people, you know, oh, what is happening? And I'm like, hey, look at the great news. China's up 4.8%. We would pray for numbers like this. They just print them on a piece of paper and then hand them out quarterly and say, hey, here's the number. We did good. But once again, you know, if we're running off of economic data, this is economic data on a global scale. And so there is some relevance here that their GDP is better than what they were expecting. So we'll put that in the positive column. Maybe. You need them to keep. Oh my gosh, I found breaking news. Everybody, there's breaking news. Dude, this is, I don't think we've ever had breaking news on the show before. This is incredible. It's about Trump failing to comply. Turns out that's okay. So this is the bad news part. Well, bad news. Tana, I was going to say, Tana, how much is gas in Texas? But I figured that's good news for you.
Yeah, it is good news for me.
We need it to be bad news.
Yeah, we've seen a decline, so that's nice.
It's declined, so what? It's back to $2.
No, I wish it was that drastic, but no, about 20 to 30 cents less than it was. Yeah,
gas is like $2, Chuck, over there.
Well, I think we're about $3.70 now. So
yeah, we've broken down. We're now, you know, $9 and change. So it's great.
Ouch.
Just kidding. I don't know what it is. I don't buy gas anymore. I walk to work.
That's true. You do.
A lot. I do.
Yeah.
But this data point, so obviously inflation keeps ticking higher. The consumer price index, which tracks, individual costs for people, in March annualized was at 8.5%. So that was a record, a highest since 1981. Oh my gosh, Tana, guess what year I was born?
1981.
Look at that. So this is very meaningful to me. Like I like to know that I am the record-breaking number around here. So inflation's up quite a bit, pretty crazy. Obviously it impacts a lot of different things. The alienation of inflation is they don't track all the things, right? So they don't fully price in gas costs and food and real estate and all these things. They were creative with the CPI. But one of the criticisms, do you know any of the criticisms about inflation, of how they say we have inflation? It has to do with businesses. Have you heard this one? So they say that businesses are just being sharks and raising all the prices to like price gouging, basically. They don't have that problem in Texas.
Well, no, we're seeing prices.
Well, they throw that around here quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of the theme. And so part 2 of inflation is what's called the producer price index. Producer price index is wholesale goods.
Right.
This is what the wholesaler is buying stuff at in order to sell you stuff at the elevated rate. And you notice that year over year, they have the highest recorded increase ever. Wow. 11.2%. So the next time they say, oh, it's those jerk people, just those evil corporations raising rates, it turns out that actually they're probably eating it on some level.
Yeah, not passing it totally
our
through.
Costs are up, but their costs are up a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. I mean, it's just one of those things. I personally feel, Tana personally feels, I'm telling Tana what she personally feels. This is good. We feel through a conversation that we think that one way or another, we're getting to the high side of this, and it's probably peaking out, and it's going to start mellowing out on the second half of the year. It'll probably take a couple months, but that's what we're looking for. We want to see the inflation start to cap, peak, roll back down. So maybe the next recording for April will, possibly hit 9%, but then we're probably going to see this thing starting to mellow out. And so that would be a positive. A lot of it has to do with improvements in supply chain. There'll, likely be improvements with the World War III going on and all of that kind of stuff. So look for that.
Tragic.
Well, that is. But so is the prices of everything. A lot of tragedies here. All right, Tana. So good news. Tana carries what how much student loans do you have? About $500,000?
No, I paid them off.
What?
I paid my student loans off.
I paid mine off by serving this country. Dang it. Just kidding.
Thank you very much.
I didn't have student loans because I got the GI Bill for being in the Army. See, this is frustrating. There's this guy on the news I like to listen to, but I have the TV muted, so I have no idea what he's saying. I have to admit, it's like a conflict for me right now. Like,
you want all of a sudden turn your volume up and listen?
I want to know what's happening
when you're recording a show.
All right. Should I? Everybody, intermission. Maybe what I should do is I should turn it up so everyone can hear it here, and we should just sit quietly.
Exactly.
See what Tom has to say. The other thing, though, that I thought was fascinating with this article that you sent me is Biden extends the student loans payment. So you don't have to pay back your student loans starting until September. This feeds into our inflation problem, everybody, right?
Yes.
Part of the problem wasn't supply chain like they said. It wasn't COVID. It was that the government expended the money supply, flooded the market with money, and then told people they don't have to pay their bills.
Right.
So if somebody has let's say a $500 a month student loan payment, and they now don't have to pay it now until September, what does that mean for most people? Now
they're going to go spend it.
Right. There's more money to spend to go to Walmart and to compete for products that aren't on the shelves and to create more inflation with. People need to get back to their structured, normal obligations.
Discipline.
And so it's like funny. Like we just went through this wave, right? Hey, unemployment's good. Earnings are looking good. Job numbers are looking good. Okay, inflation's a problem. Producer prices are a problem. But now here we go. It's just a further exasperation of why we have inflation is the government keeps saying, no, student loans are bad.
Right.
Like, where's student loans bad? How about a car payment? Is that bad? Or having the burden of paying rent or a mortgage? Why is it
all a part of life?
Why student loans? Ugh, those are the doozy out there. You know, most student loans, by the way, are wage-based, meaning that if you have low or no income, your payment is based on that anyways.
Yes. So it's affordable.
So it's affordable, it's reasonable. The government's not
exactly
gouging these people. Now, if you accidentally went and got a $500 a month car loan and you lost your job, does the car loan say, oh, wow,
no.
Well, you know what? We're going to make it $50 a month for a while.
No, they hold you accountable.
Right. So I think we should all go get car loans and have the government put them in deferment forever.
No, let's not do that.
What? I mean, you think about this, Tana. It's been, I don't know, 2 years since people have paid on their student loans.
That's a long time.
And then they're on top of it. They're talking about, can an executive order pay off some? Can we pay off 50 grand? Can we pay off 10 grand? Can we eat? So don't pay your bills. Don't pay your bills. And then eventually maybe we'll just pay them for you. Like, dude, this is the kind of stuff that makes me crazy.
I agree.
Like, why did you have to be responsible, Tana?
Right. I know.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work.
Shame on you.
It was a lot of work and discipline, and we put other things off so that we could get it paid off, but it was worth it. It was totally worth it.
Well, I don't know. This is the kooky one. This one drives me crazy. That's why I wanted to end with it, because I found it depressing. But thank you for sending it to me.
Yes.
Tana is always studious, everybody, with doing research and providing all of the data for the show.
I love doing that.
I provide all of the noise.
Because you're good at it.
Well, you know, eventually things are going to change. That's it. We're having a poll right now. I want emails from people knowing who you would like to see talk way more in the show. If you like the show the way it currently is, then just give me 2 thumbs up. And if you'd like to see very significant changes, let me know. Or, you know, what we could do is we could switch the show. Maybe what we should do is switch to like getting puppets of like Kermit the Frog and stuff to talk. Probably just as valuable.
Too distracting.
Would it be? Yes. Know. Maybe people would enjoy it more. Then their kids could get involved, you know, start learning at a younger age, all this stuff. So, hey, I think that's it for us. We just went through a bunch of data. Some of it was good. Some of it was bad. Obviously, you got our opinion on the whole thing. Tana is sitting in gloomy, no sunshine, Texas right now, but she gets to pay $2 for gas. So it's all relative. And hey, if you have questions, if you're worried, I realize the stock market's going down right now. I realize there's a lot of anxiety when you turn on the news. That's why me and Tana are here. We're here to help you understand these things, to have a good retirement plan. That is what we do. This is what we cash flow. If you have a good, proper plan set in place, the market doesn't bother you, because guess what? The assets you use for income ain't in the market. The assets you use for growth are in the market, but you don't need those for income tomorrow. So you got the time horizon to deal with it. Make a good plan. Be defensive, make good choices, find objective people, certainly like Tana, to talk to, and it will all be well. So, hey, wait, what's the banner? Where's the banner? Okay. I'm so bad at this part, right? I can't do all this stuff. So, hey, give us a call, 805-500-7035, 805-500-7035. Visit the Lind Group, which is spelled LYND. You can see our main page. You can submit requests for data, information. You can get a free book, all the fun stuff. So otherwise, everybody have a wonderful day, and toodaloo. Bye.